Coming to you live from Alola's Battle Royale Dome, it's the one, the only PUCL Battlecast.
And welcome to Battlecast. I am your host, Seth Vilo, and you're here to listen to me lie to you again about how this show is going to be a shorter one, but it always ends up being a full-length show. And as usual, I'm not alone here. I'm joined by two brilliant minds, one of which is making his annual pilgrimage to the PUCL Plus side of things. Say hello to Thatch, and Thatch, say hello to listeners.
Hello, listeners. This one's a lot less work.
I try. You know, if I can make it easier on you, then I've done my job.
I don't have to drive. Driving is exhausting.
Exactly. Exactly. Until you zone out and forget where you are or how you got there.
That's why you buy the Tesla with the self-driving features.
Yeah, true. And from the chuckle in the background, you can hear the lovely voice of R Sigma joining us as well.
Hello. I am here.
And as you clicked on the topic, you saw what we're talking about. Once we get there, it's going to be VGC because we heard you loud and clear on the survey. And, you know, it's about time I learned the darn thing. So I've got the two best people to talk about it for this month.
Whoa. Don't build me up that much, Seth.
I don't know. You went to a regional once and got, what, 15th?
15th. Yes, I'm the Ash Ketchum of regionals.
It's okay.
So, I mean,
most people on staff probably actually don't know the legendary stats at this point, so we are ahead.
Zacian has base 130.
It's 148.
148. It's actually dumb. Zacian's dumb.
Zacian is dumb. We'll get to how dumb it is here once we get into the tiers, but yeah, Zacian is absolutely stupidly dumb.
Calyrex is 150 speed.
Calyrex is also stupid.
At level 50, it's just 2 more speed points than Zacian.
Really? That's all it is?
Yeah.
Wow.
It turns out it's like 222 versus 220.
Wow.
And Regieleki
wacky.
outspeeds them all. It's great.
Yes.
So what have you guys been up to as far as like general competitive Pokemon Online stuff?
Well, we've both been doing the Dodrio tournament on the Smogon forums. Forums are what those things are called.
You got there.
And so it's the Dodrio tournament is actually really cool, and I really, really like this format. I don't think we talked about it briefly on the main show, but it's I always feel like a broken record because I'm on a podcast all the time and I say the same things. And so it's a VGC tournament, and it's a team of 3 people. So it's myself, R Sigma, and P McGee, and it's normal VGC, best of 3, but among the 3 of us, we have to share a species clause.
Ooh.
Yeah. Minus forms.
That's weird.
Minus forms? Yeah, so like we could run both Calyrexes if we wanted to, or I guess technically all 3. But nobody's running.
But why?
Nobody's running regular Calyrex.
Flex on your opponents.
Yeah, no,
it's like running a Cosmog.
Yeah,
you feel even worse probably.
It's like almost a Fione.
Yeah,
and
kinda. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a Fione, and so it's I don't know. It's fun. We didn't win our first round mostly because of hacks. I will blame the hacks. I'll slap the hacks button.
Yeah, I had a Ferrothorn setting up, and it was crit by a body press Dialga, and it's like, oh.
Yep. Oh. And I got crit game 1 and a crit that really mattered, and then I missed a play rough. Game 2.
To close out the game.
Yep. Yep.
That's awful.
Yep. But we're coming back strong this week, I hope.
Do each one of you battle every week? Is that the deal?
Yeah, so
we each battle a different person.
Yeah, it's 3 people. It's 3v3, right? It's really cool.
Okay.
It's a good... I like the format a lot, and I like the concept for a tournament a lot. So I want to see how it goes in the near future.
Mm-hmm. And with Smogon stuff, that's got to be at least somewhat popular.
It's pretty big. I think a couple teams have been dropped for inactivity, but it's something like, 6 times 12, whatever that number is.
72.
That many were there.
Wow.
Initially,
Dang.
and I think like 5 or 6 have dropped now, but it's
okay.
It's been pretty explosive over there. I don't think they expected it to be this big.
No, they were like, it'll be a top 4.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be a top 4. Now it's like a top 12.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a big difference.
Yeah, it's 12 pools of 6 or something like that. And so, yeah, unfortunately we're 0-1 right now, but hopefully this week we can come back 1-1.
Yeah.
We just
it
gotta make
sounds
it out
like
of
a
the
lot of
pool.
fun.
Oh yeah, it's a super cool concept. I'm thinking about how we would implement that into PUCL and whether or not we would get enough people to do that. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know. I really like that idea. It sounds like a lot of fun, and you can make it just like a few weeks, and people get to play and have fun and get to know each other.
Yeah, and VGC, a format that we don't really touch on too horribly much.
I feel like we've been doing it more as of late, and that because we did Fall League this year, where we did pretty much all VGC, and then we always do the Prepare for Trouble tournament. But I like leaning into VGC a little bit more, especially with the current ecosystem that Nintendo has decided we're gonna have. Lord Game Freak has decided that the 20-minute timer is the way you play. No more.
Battle hasn't even begun yet for me.
Yeah, I know that it's sad that you can't play on card anymore, Seth.
I know
because of your
basically just told
disability.
me I can't. Yeah, because of my issues. My favorite Pokemon is Sableye. One of Sableye's ability is Stall. I don't know if that's prophetic, but whatever.
I mean, Eternatus Stall is an actual thing in Battle Stadium singles.
Ooh. I'll have to look that up because that sounds like fun. Eternatus is purple.
Yeah, you got like an Eternatus, you got like a Chansey and a Quagsire all just hanging out together and laughing
All right.
as they don't die to anything.
That does sound like
Quagsire,
fun.
the only counter to Zacian that exists.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played like General OU ladder in probably a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a really, really long time. I miss it.
Yeah, it's been like an hour or two for me.
I miss it. I'm excited to talk about the tiers, though.
Yeah, it's kind of a quieter month, except for a couple big bands. So we'll get to that. I mean, why not? We'll get to that right now. We'll catch you guys on the other side.
And now it's time to see the results of this month's Blood, Sweat, and Tearing.
And we're back in tier time, and we're starting from the top as always, where things actually happened for once, and the thing that happened was Zacian Crowned has been banned from Ubers into Anything Goes, which hasn't happened for a while, sort of. I mean, Mega Ray last time because it's dumb, but
Didn't they put Primal Ground on there, too, for half a minute?
no, I don't think so.
I thought there was
think
talk
they got
of
around
doing
to
it.
it.
I think there was talk of doing it back in Gen
Mega
6.
Gengar was like a suspect as well.
Yeah.
They were talking about it. I don't think they ever did it.
I'm okay with
Yeah.
this. I mean, you have insane stats on Zacian Crowned,
Yep.
and he gets a +1 attack when he just walks in.
Yeah,
On
now
his-
he gets a +2 attack because he can hold Choice Band.
Oh, that's true. That's even better. Wait, no. Oh, yeah. Wait,
No,
no,
he can't.
No, he can't.
Oh, the regular one
The
can.
regular one is, yeah.
Regular one doesn't have the
Regular
same
Zacian,
abilities,
but
though.
not Crowned.
Yeah,
it does.
not Ground has to hold its little sword.
It still has Intrepid Sword, though.
Does he still have Intrepid Sword?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that.
So, yeah.
But it's not
Now he
nearly
gets
as
to get a +2.
fast. It's not nearly as fast.
Yeah, it's a
10
lot
points.
slower.
It's
It's
10
less
points.
powerful.
10
That's a
points
big difference.
10 points is enough to make you slower than a Dragapult.
Exactly.
This is true. And also, it loses one of its typings, so that's good.
It loses
Yeah.
Steel. Steel Fairy is the
just
best
mono
typing
fairy.
in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Zacian Crown's banned. You can still use regular, like Sigma said. You can now just try it with Choice Band instead, which gives it a quote-unquote +2.
It's going to hurt something.
Yeah, just not as bad. And like, you don't get stab on Behemoth Blade anymore. Like,
Well,
it's
you
not.
don't get Behemoth Blade.
You don't even
get
get
Iron
Behemoth Blade. Yeah.
You get Ironhead,
And
yeah.
I mentioned it last time, but one of the big reasons that Zacian's finally been looked at and dealt with is with nothing being able to Dynamax anymore, you lose just being able to absorb a hit from a Zacian and then hit back. You can't do it anymore, so it's a level playing field with Zacian, who couldn't have Dynamaxed before and hit back. So, yeah, it was finally time for it to be looked at. The next thing being looked at are one of two things, actually. There's the Calyrex Shadow Rider form that we've mentioned a few times on the show before that's still as oppressive as ever. Like, if you don't bring Yveltal or Duskmane Necrozma, you're going to have a bad time. You're probably going to lose to this thing. Because, I mean, it causes the most brain-dead team building that I've ever seen in Ubers, where you just either you bring Calyrex, you bring 2 Calyrex counters in Yveltal and Duskmane, a Calyrex check in Shadow Sneak Marshadow, and then 2 other things. Those used to be a Zacian and a Zacian check, but now that's not as bad anymore.
Yay.
Yeah, but I mean, you can build a good Uber team in 30 seconds, just as if you can be creative enough to fill in those last 2 slots. So, yeah, so Calyrex is one thing being looked at right now. The other thing that's gotten a lot of discussion in the threads and a lot of frustration in the threads, especially when paired with Calyrex, is Shadow Tag, specifically on Gothitelle and Gothorita. I said that right. Both of them are a problem.
I hate this. I hate it so much. As a Little Cup player, I'm very upset about this. They always get mad at the Arena Trap and at Shadow Tag, and I don't know. They don't like being in situations. By they, I mean Smogon players don't like being caught in situations in which they can't work themselves out of immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't blame them.
Yeah,
especially like with Gothitelle being able to trick a Scarf on you, and that narrows the PP stalling down to 5.
I'm into it.
Like,
I'm there for this.
I get it.
Yeah, Gothitelle got some stupid things that can do this gen.
Yeah, trick Scarf, PP struggle, knockout. Kind of dumb. So there's a lot of discussion on what to test next or just ban next, either Shadow Tag or Calyrex. We don't know yet. But yeah, that'll be coming down the pipe. But you don't have to run Quagsire on Uber teams anymore. It is no longer going to ever be seen again now that Zacian Crown is gone. So
yeah,
yay.
Wow. No more Quag.
No more Quag. Tell me about OU, Thatch.
They banned Spectre.
I can tell you
finally.
some too. Yeah.
Or Shadow Ball, I should say.
Basically, yeah. Because
very fast Shadow Ball. They banned very fast Shadow Ball.
Watch out, Jolteon. You're next.
Yeah.
It's Jolteon. We're gonna ban Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball, and yeah, it's gonna be a bad time for Jolteon.
Totally.
I don't know. It looks like they're gonna suspect test the Bunny Rabbit and Cinderace, and maybe also Magearna.
Yeah.
I don't know why they let Magearna back down. That seemed like a choice.
It kind of makes sense because Heatran, its best counter, came at the same time, but now it also has Aura Sphere on top of Focus Blast.
Yes.
And Specs is still broken as a set.
Yeah.
They gave it a shot, and I appreciate that, but it's still too much, I think.
It's yes.
The only other thing that's kind of keeping it behaved is the meteoric rise of Galarian Slowking.
Yes.
That is keeping that stupid robot rabbit in check.
I've seen a lot of people playing like Slowbro Slowking cores.
Yeah.
And it makes me very happy.
Yeah, and they're freed up a whole lot more now that Spectrier is gone, which really took advantage of that. But
yeah, get rid of Spectrier.
The slow core has taken off.
I love that core. I just love it. I would play OU on cart if I could with the Slowking Slowbro core.
That sounds adorable. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it works really well. Like, I imagine the typings are really good with each other.
Weirdly enough, they really are.
It's really synergistic.
Yeah.
I mean, after you get rid of like the scary dark type and the scary ghost type, they're fine.
Yep.
And throwing constant future sights out is stupid. The only thing is, like, the thing I anticipate happening, it's a pattern. 1, Mandibuzz drops off the face of the earth because Spectrier is no longer there.
Yeah.
2, supplemental ghost types spike. Things like Dragapult, Blacephalon, Aegislash will just shoot up. Even Gengar can actually have breathing room now again to do things that it used to be able to.
Poor Gengar.
I think it dropped to RU at one point.
Yeah. It's held back by so much. It's slow now, which is wild. So that's number 2. Number 3, that'll really hurt the slow core that we're talking about because the ghosts will finally have something to take advantage of. And then number 4, Mandibuzz comes back again. It'll be a long time.
Mandibuzz.
Yeah. It'll be a while, but finally Mandibuzz will return. Don't worry. It's like that thing at the end of the Avengers movies. Mandibuzz will return.
It's like the water ground type going from U to OU.
The Gastrodon effect.
Yeah. Gastrodon, Quagsire.
To be
Every now
fair,
and then they jump up. They're like, hi, guys. And then they drop down because they're easy to hate out.
even in like Gen 7 you had things like that. Like I remember there being very wild swings with Slowbro actually in Gen 7.
I remember that too. There was a point where he was RU, NU.
He'd go to like OU, and then like a couple months later he'd be in like NU, and you'd be like, what happened? He was doing so well. and then he would just pop back up in OU. He was probably one of the more volatile Pokemon in Gen 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now with Teleport, it's top 10, easy. And it's a Cinderace check, so once Cinderace is banned, I don't know if it'll dip or go up in use.
I
don't know which one.
I don't think Cinderace is that scary, but
it just doesn't have counters is the thing. Like you don't know what all it has, and you can't really stop it effectively. Even its counters, in a sense, can be stopped by coverage. Like Slowbro can be stopped by U-turn spam. That'll eventually do it in. And I've seen Electro Ball, which really take advantage of it.
Electro Ball's cute. But generally speaking, like it should be able to be taken out by Intimidate, unlike Greninja could in the past.
True.
So.
Yeah. And it's forced
Greninja
to run
lasted
boots.
all last gen, so I feel like
Okay, but Greninja shouldn't have. Let's be honest.
No, Greninja was fine. I think Ash Greninja needed to go.
Yes, absolutely. 1,000%.
I think Greninja was okay.
Base Greninja's fine.
The unknown on which one you were facing was a big factor.
Yes, it was. Unless they clicked the shiny button, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Don't worry, we'll get Greninja back in November when Let's Go Diamond and Pearl come out. They'll somehow be in there because they're the most popular Pokemon in Japan. I mean, it'll come
in
around.
the world. He's the most popular in the world. He won that Google thing last year.
Yep.
I thought that was just Japanese players.
That was worldwide.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I mean they left out four
worse.
sets. They left out 4 sets of starters. This was a very strategic move.
I mean, there's always the chance that we get a Pokemon Day update and Greninja comes back in 2 weeks. But
you have this hope, and I don't trust you.
I have this hope because they keep pushing the starters. But who knows?
Go to your local McDonald's and download it with Pokemon Stop.
Right.
They can't test Magearna because Ash Greninja shows back up.
We're moving on, though. Let's go to UU. Sigma, tell me about what's going on there.
Hey, they banned Latias, which is weird because it used to be a UU staple.
Mystical Fire, too much.
I guess that's fair. Mystical Fire is really dumb. But yep, Latias is gone. This opens up a lot of things, like Jirachi can finally do things again. Yay, Jirachi. Victini's down here too. Oh dear. Oh, Victini.
Yeah, which is dumb.
Yeah, apparently you just can't wall it, even though it struggles versus Hyper Offense, because it's also a Victini and dies to most things.
Yeah, and 100 speed holds it back there.
Yeah. Like you have to choose between Band and Scarf. Hey, Zoroark's down here. Wow, this is just the mythical tier. Cool.
Yeah,
kind of is. Yeah.
We got Zoroark down here too. It's still deserving of an S rank. And Caesar, good old Caesar. Caesar is the other staple of UU that's always been there.
Nice. And now that Mystical Fire Latias is gone, it can breathe again too.
Now that it doesn't have to feel threatened by Latias. Oh, the world we live in. Did they get Aura Sphere too, though?
Yeah, it did.
They gave the Lotties a lot.
Yeah.
Just like Battle Stadium Singles, Nihilego with Meteor Beam is terrifying down here too. As well as Primarina holding boots and using a flip turn.
Yeah, that's a weird set that I've seen take off down there.
I mean, flip
I don't
turn's
know.
just good.
Flip turn is good.
Boots is weird, but flip turn's just good.
Mm-hmm.
And since it doesn't have another ability, you might be able to use it with Torrent. Who knows?
Sparkling Aria. No, not Sparkling Aria. Oh my gosh.
That doesn't
Something
exist. Don't lie to
voice.
me.
That one.
It's
Liquid
used
voice.
it's used in VGC when you can use hyper voice.
Yes.
That's the only.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's why you use it.
Yep.
Yep. That's UU, though. They're looking to see what to suspect next, but Latios was banned so recently that it's going to be probably a good bit until something else is suspected. So
Yeah, it's a new.
We'll see.
tier. It's a new tier.
yeah. And it's slowing down overall on all the tiers now that we've got back to kind of a 3-month tier shift system instead of a 1 month with each one. So things are a little slower, which is nice.
No DLC to shake things up either for the long term.
Exactly, that we know of, until Greninja comes out in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh. If it comes out in 2 weeks, I'll eat my hat.
I will too, and I won't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you don't eat in general. You're just drinking your Soylent, right? So eating's a foreign concept.
I'll drink my hat.
Uh,
Thatch, tell me about RU. What's going on there?
Thunderous was banned.
Finally.
I don't know if
Stupid
if that was good or not, but it's gone now. So sucks to be Thunderous, I guess.
Haha.
I think it was Thunderous Incarnate too.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Thundy Incarnate.
Therian's still okay.
Thunderous Incarnate's pretty bad. Zarude's down here, and it's actually tearing things up. It's happy now. It's happy in S rank.
It has its home in RU.
It's just doing its
finally.
thing.
Not surprising for a grass type.
I mean,
type
right?
type.
Yeah.
Like that's where I expected him to
Yes,
go.
that sounds right.
Where are you?
That sounds right. Togekiss came out of its cave after Thunderous was banned and said, "I'm not scared anymore." Kind of like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. And and now he is S rank because there's no flying type or electric type to murder him. And so he's doing all right. Alolan Marowak is doing pretty well as well. It slows down Volt Turn because of Lightning Rod. And it really just stops Toxtricity because Toxtricity can't jump around with him. It's doing all right. It's doing all right. Flygon is also popping off. He's a good electric type counter. And people are running Scarf. Flygon, you doing Flygon things.
It's
Gen
100
4.
base speed.
It is 100 base speed, and everything else is like an 80 minus its attack, I think.
Everything's 80 except attack and speed, which are 100.
So, I mean, Flygon's all right. He's all right. He's doing okay.
Yeah, Flygon's just fine.
He's fine.
Like,
Yeah.
It's doing Gen 4 things. It's you turning around and
not being being a lesser Garchomp. is
Yes,
fine.
it's Garchomp Light with Levitate, because Levitate, he's scared
floating
of Earthquake.
Garchomp.
Gastrodon is down here now too, and he's just there. I mean, it's Gastrodon. I don't know what you want.
Gastrodon do Gastrodon things.
He's Gastrodon doing Gastrodon things, 100%.
Yep.
Galarian, Slowbro, and Metagross really hate it, and obviously it makes sense because Gastrodon's good, doing Gastrodon things.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
I'm running at no U personally, so I know them
Gastrodon's
Gastrodon
solid.
things.
He's just always been solid. I can't think of a time when
it's just
Gastrodon
fine.
hasn't been good.
It's just
I use
fine.
it as a Nido King check.
Yeah.
It gets yawn. It's annoying.
Gets-
it's
Yeah.
got good
Yeah.
coverage. Like
He does all right. He's got, I mean, also water ground is just a really good typing too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're bulky.
especially
I think
with
the
the water
cool-
immunity.
Yep.
It's solid.
Yeah. Either a water immunity or a knockoff, like absorber
Yeah, sticky
with
hold.
with
Yeah.
sticky hold. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some maniacs in OU were running Trubbish for a little bit because that's also something that gets sticky hold. But you can also use it to stack entry hazards. So you Eviolite it and then sticky holds absorb the
Yes.
knockoffs and stack things with it. Those maniacs.
Oh no.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I love it.
Oh no.
2 tiers to go. Tell me about NU, Sigma.
Hey, Sigilif is gone.
Yay.
Yep. I believe we talked about it last time. It was a menace. It's gone now. Yay. Beware and Pangoro are being suspected. They might actually be done being suspected by the time this comes out.
Yeah, they should be. It ends on the 11th, which is when this comes out. So
Yep. So they might
voting
be
will
banned
stard.
or saved by the Talonflame out. Things don't tend to live this gen though, so
No.
they're probably gone. Talonflame and Dragology continue to be really good Pokemon on teams. I'm sure Seth is very happy about this.
I am tickled.
Talonflame gets to spread Will-O-Wisps and stuff, gets to defog, I'm sure, with priority. And its little boots that it wears. And it has a really good speed tier. And Dragology hits really hard, but it also has Flip Turn now, so things that get switched into it, it gets out of there immediately. So, yay. Let's see. Tauros is doing pretty well down here, despite all the ghosts. Because of its good speed and power, Sheer Force boosted Throat Chop Sheer Force boost and Throat Chop help it do really well. Good job, Green Tauros.
Green Tauros.
If you can't hit it with Body Slam, which is boosted by Sheer Force, you hit the ghost with Throat Chop, which is boosted by Sheer Force. So, it's doing pretty good.
And there's apparently a nice line of things of suspects coming up, so there might be another ban by the time the next episode comes out of this show. So yay.
Yeah, very well might be.
Busy banning. Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a mess in the lower tiers, like a mess.
I believe that.
But not as crazy bad. Now that it's finally stabilized and we aren't having like 50 things drop every month, we can actually focus on what needs to be banned instead of being like, well, it's going to be a totally different tier next month anyway, so why bother? So, yeah. And I'll take us home with this. Since last episode, Roserade was quick banned because that was broken. As I mentioned before, that it was likely going to be quick banned anyway. And you remember when Sigma said that things don't typically survive suspect tests this generation? Well, he wasn't entirely correct. Virizian's suspect test has completed, and it remains PU. It did not hit the majority needed to actually get around to banning it. And a couple reasons why. Since it was really causing problems in December, we've had all the tier shifts, and a lot of things have finally landed in the tier that are able to handle Virizion, as well as the fact that there are just so many freaking fighting types down in this tier. So you have to build against all of them, and in doing so, you naturally strengthen your team against Virizion. Examples are Wheezing Talonflame is a really common core, and Virizion hates both of them, as well as just lots of flying types that resist both of its stab moves. So there's a lot to handle it now that wasn't there before, and the community thought that it wasn't as oppressive as it was once before. It's still annoying and still top tier, don't get us wrong, but not bannable.
Yeah, but that's something you see in the lower tiers where things drop. Not so much in the higher tiers, because they could always use the things down below.
Yeah. One interesting thing that... Oh, go ahead.
Didn't Torkoal drop down here?
I think it did at one
I thought
point.
it quick dropped. Like it was the one change that happened this month or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's
Weather's
right.
banned, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just Torkoal at that point. So, that noteworthy Pokemon. One thing that happened as far as viability ranking chatter is that Lycanroc Midday shot up from unranked all the way to A tier because of what the tier is currently revolving around, which is Virizion, Archeops, and Talonflame, and Lycanroc Midday handles all of them really well with a combination of its speed tier and Accelerock. So that doggo's doing some good things. There's still some chatter to ban Arctovish for the same reasons that Dracovish was banned in OU. It's still stupid, no strong jaw, but still really, really stupid, especially with Hail and Slush Rush. It's almost like a combination of Dracozolt and Dracovish down there, just all in one Pokemon. And there's 2 Hail Setters down here too, so it has more than enough opportunity to get that set up and just start going. But it's kind of held in check by the fact that fighting types are everywhere, so they can mock or outspeed it and just batter it with close combat or whatever. And yeah, it might be banned. Who knows? There's also a lot more water absorbers at this level of the tier, so it's not as big of a problem. Final couple sets that are really fire down here at the moment. Ghost Silvally is back in PU, and a simple set of Swords Dance, Multi-Attack, Flame Charge, and Explosion is making waves because not a lot really enjoys any of those moves. And other memes are things like Choice Band Gorgeist Small, which you can just fire off really quick poltergeists with that 99 speed, I believe it is, and not a lot likes taking that. Or if you really, really want to go hard meme, you go Scarf Flapple, get rid of their fairy, and click Outrage and Pray. So
80% of the time it's gonna hurt.
80% of the time, it works 100% of the time. Technically, the strongest dragon. Fun fact.
Technically.
So yeah, that's PU.
Ooh.
Yeah. And with that, the only other thing of note is that Vullaby had its suspect test in Little Cup, and it too remains in Little Cup. It was not banned. So
I don't know why they keep trying to change Little Cup. Stop trying to change Little Cup. It's fine.
it would be a small change either way. Because little.
Vullaby is probably one of the bigger players in Little Cup right now.
Yeah.
And this is actually a tier that I have played in the very recent months. But Vullaby is pretty big, and because Little Cup literally hasn't changed in I think like 2 gens.
Basically,
Vullaby's always been good, and I think that it's not even doing anything different. It's just doing everything it was before. The only
I mean, Grookey is probably like the most.
Grookey's probably the biggest
pick down
change now. I would say, I would argue Galarian Ponyta is not bad either.
Galarian Ponyta is good.
The
The regular Ponyta is also good.
it's already been that used to be good. Galarian Ponyta is really nice because it's kind of an alternate Abra. It's like bulkier Abra.
Oh.
It's like bulkier Abra, and Abra was always good, but you can actually like survive a hit with Galarian Ponyta, and so it's interesting because they both have the same speed, and
and that one's still pure psychic, isn't it?
that one's still pure psychic, but you still get like mystical fire in your move pool. Abra without hidden power, Abra's just like not as good, and because he really needs hidden power fighting, and Galarian Ponyta gets mystical fire, which kind of covers that issue. So so I personally I back in the day I would run Abra, but I think now if I had to choose, I would choose Galarian Ponyta.
Makes sense.
I would choose My Little Pony.
Stay tuned for the Little Cup Dodrio Cup.
That's what we should do.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
what we should do.
That's how you get the Puckle spin.
That's how we spin
There
it for
we go.
Puckle. It's the Little Cup.
There we
Little
go.
Cup Dodrio Cup. There we go. You heard it here first, folks.
And with that, let's go ahead and cut off tier time, and we'll hop over to the topic and the reason that I've got these two brilliant guys here to teach me what the heck is going on in VGC. We'll be right back. All aboard. It's time for the topic. And welcome back to the topic. We are discussing VGC, the thing that is the only tournament that Nintendo knows about, or knows to care about. So it's about time that I freaking learned this. I'm still really bad at it. I spent a little time, like a week ago, watching you play a bunch of them, Thatch, because you were streaming them.
Yeah.
And that was fun. Like,
It's a different...
having my instincts
The format's
questioned.
fun.
The format's fun. I personally like, so this is like quote unquote GS Cup, which means legends are involved, but it's usually 2 legends that are involved, but because they wanted to give the same rule set to BSS, and they know 2 legends would be absolutely bonkers in BSS, they went down to 1, and I personally like that change.
I do too. I like it a lot.
I much rather have just 1 legend that you build around and you try to support that 1 legend doing something cool than just going ahead and tearing it apart otherwise. Like, just trying to be like, yes, I need Rayquaza and Kyogre to do something.
Yeah. And this is part of the rule change that just went through,
Yeah, this is
right?
Series 8.
Yeah, it
Series
started
8
at
or
the
whatever?
beginning of the
Yep.
month. It started February 1st. So
We had like a teaser of this, but in BSS back in November, if I remember correctly, because they did the Dragon King Cup.
Dragon King Cup was December, I think.
That sounds one of these 2 is right. It was
October.
those.
October.
it wasn't October. I thought it was November.
No, VGC. The VGC one was in October, the doubles one, but we didn't have all the old legends yet, so it wasn't really a taste. and mythicals were allowed.
Yeah.
Which I think they should be, but whatever.
If they did a series of giveaways like they did for the 20th anniversary, I'd be right there with you.
I mean, the thing is, like, Magearna is the most populated mythical out there, and it's the only one that would make a difference.
You are absolutely correct, but that's not going to stop little Timmy from being like, I want to run Zero Aura. I got a shiny one from that one thing that one time.
I mean, sure. And I don't care if they run Zero Aura because it's not very good when you can have a Zacian.
Yes, and Regieleki exists.
Oh, shoot. Zacian Crowned outruns it. Oh, my gosh.
Zacian Crowned is probably the monster. I think right now the S-tier legends, the S-tier mods, I think, and this is kind of funny, I think there's 4 right now that they rank on Smogon. I think it's Zacian, Dialga, I believe I think
Yveltal should be.
Yeah, Yveltal's not up there. It's Shadow Rider, Calyrex Shadow Rider, and Incineroar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Incineroar. Is that still as good as it always has been?
Yeah, Incineroar's just good. Like, he's just good. He always is. He always will be. He's just good.
Picolytics has it at like 50%.
Yes.
Wow.
It's not like, well, at least it's not a VGC 2016, 2017, or not 2016,
75%.
Yeah, the 75 to like 90% of teams are running Incineroar. And that would it's not centralizing. Yeah, it might be a little bit. Incineroar was really bad. It used to be really bad. But I think right now, like, I'm okay with where it is now.
The fact that we have Defiant Thundurus again helps.
We have Defiant Thundurus. You have Defiant Galarian Zapdos. You've got competitive Articuno. I think that's all.
And a whole lot of things just aren't hit by Intimidate anymore, too. That was a change.
No, Inner Focus was the best thing that happened to VGC. Like, that change makes things a lot better. Because Intimidate Span used to be, like, real. It used to be really bad. If you wanted to run physical Pokemon, it was just really bad.
You can also stop Fake Out now with Dynamax. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Which is a really big thing. It's really helpful to be able to do that and just prevent flinches in general. Like, you don't have to worry about flinch hacks coming from a rock slide when you're D-maxed, right?
Though Incineroar is still super annoying with things like
Parting Shot's annoying. Parting Shot's
Snarl's annoying too. I hate it.
Yep.
Incineroar.
I don't.
So on that kind of theme, what are other good non-legends that are, or like stupid restricted crazy things that are like still good in VGC?
Lando's still good.
Yeah, Lando. I like that he's not as good as he used to be.
Right. Even with Dynamax, he's still.
Yeah, I was really scared that when Lando came back, we were gonna be worried and or things were gonna be bad. But I'm just not. There's so many tools to just dismantle him now. Like Gmax Lapras is really big still because Gmax Lapras does his good things. And and you have so many things that set up screens now, like really fast. Like Regieleki and Grimmsnarl. And I mean you're setting up so many debuffs that
he just isn't doing much. Like, you could go offensive in Dynamax Landorus, but like even then it's not that exciting.
Well, even on top of that too, there's just so many things that can break it turn one. There's so many, like, you can just break Lando turn one. Like, Zacian will destroy it, obviously, but Zacian destroys a lot of things in one shot. And yeah, I mean, I think the big ones like Colossal. Like, Colossal itself forces Lando to kind of run into bulk with something like it. Yeah, you need, like, if you do not run Assault Vest Landorus, you will get killed by a Colossal.
That's such a weird sentence to hear.
You will be killed
because the Colossal partners with, say, Water
or Dragapult.
A Dragapult.
Yeah.
Dragapult clicks Surf. And weakness policy activates.
Speeds max out, and then
Steam Engine.
You're a big Colossal, and you're special, so you don't even care that you got intimidated. And then you just Gmax Volcalith, and they're bye Lando. And yeah, it's gross. It's a little gross. And so Lando is just threatened by so many things. On top of that, like, I think if Lando was good, you'd have something like Articuno keeping it in check. thankfully Lando isn't super good, so nobody feels the need to run Articuno.
The Galarian.
Yeah, because Galarian Articuno is faster than Landorus.
It also doesn't have an...
Yeah, it doesn't have an ice. I'm really disappointed by their moves, by the way. I'm still disappointed by them.
Their move pools aren't amazing, which keeps them in check.
Yeah, no, like Moltres is like really popping off too.
Why don't they get Roost? Oh my god!
Like Moltres does,
because
Moltres does really good with its 2 moves.
Yeah,
or 2 types.
It has 2 moves. It has Air Slash, Slash Hurricane, and Fiery Wrath. The occasional nest.
Fiery Wrath hits everything.
Yeah,
right?
it's spread.
Like it hits double.
It's spread. Yeah, it's spread.
Wild.
But it also likes to go big a lot and use weakness policy to get boosts.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
because
we do that in Draft League, Linny and
Galarian Moltres.
Not the go big.
Galarian Moltres is really good. It's bulky. It's really bulky. Who would have thought like Moltres was going to be the top one?
Right. I thought it was Zapdos, 100%.
I expected Zapdos.
I didn't expect Zapdos. I expected Articuno. I expected Articuno to be good, but unfortunately, we didn't get everything that we wanted. I think it would have been cool if their moves were kind of like Hawlucha's Flying Press, where they do both types of damage.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yes, that would have been.
Yeah,
cool.
I think that would have been a cooler way to go with it. Like, it does Ice and Psychic type, and it does Dark and Fire type, stuff like that. That would have been
Wild.
That would have been interesting. To be fair, like those 2 types together are like kind of bad because like there's no overlap and their resistances and super effective stuff, so it could be bad.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting. I mean, in terms of other, like your staples are still there. Like Tornadus is still good. Whimsicott's still good. Urshifu's still good.
Rillaboom.
Both of them, or one of them more than the other?
What do you mean? Oh, Incarnate's
on the Urshifu.
Oh, on the Urshifu.
Single Strike.
Single Strike's the favorite, but there's definitely reasons to run multi strike or whatever it is, whatever they call it. Rapid strike. That's it.
Yeah. Single Strike is the one in like the top 10.
Yeah, Single Strike's the one to play just because Dark is good.
Wicked Blow hits real
Dark type is good.
Doesn't get resisted.
Let me introduce you to my Moltres. Dark type not bad right now because Ghost types can actually be used, and because certain things are out of the game. Like Pursuit.
Actually, I'm not even seeing the water. Water type is number 46 in usage.
I believe that. I would believe that.
Right next to Regigigas at 47 and Colossal at 48.
I'm really happy the Regigigas thing has kind of dropped off real heavy.
Yeah, like right now it pairs well with Zacian, and that's about it.
Yeah, I still think it plays awkward. I've tried a team like that with the wheezing Regigigas shenanigans. And then you try with Zacian. I still think it's kind of clunky.
Yeah, it is a little clunky, but Weezing lets you get Intrepid Sword off twice if you get the switch in.
It's clunky.
Weezing dies or switches out.
It's clunky.
So that's cute.
Clunky.
And it protects you from Intimidates, so.
Clunky.
Whimsicott and Tornadus, they'll do their prankstery stuff.
Oh, yeah, Tornadus is a Pokemon, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you usually just see Tornadus on like Kyogre games, but because otherwise you're probably running Whimsicott because Whimsicott's just kind of.
And Amoonguss is good.
That makes sense.
Amoonguss is really good redirection.
There's a decent typing. I mean, Amoonguss has always been good. You don't see Heatran, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
I'm really okay with no Heatran.
Yeah, fire types aren't that common apart from Incineroar, which usually is more support than like.
Well, I think I think especially with Dynamax, you just have so many Max Quakes and stuff that can just really come out and just destroy them. Yeah, fire's not good right now. I mean, you see the occasional Entei, which is really surprising. I think Entei is probably the one I see the most after Incineroar.
Inner Focus Entei.
Yeah, Inner Focus helps.
I like it. Charizard's still popular, kind of.
Oh yeah, Charizard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it can Gigantamax and do the residual thing.
Yeah.
Same with Venusaur.
Venusaur's better. Venusaur's better.
Really?
Yeah, they both go on Groudon teams.
Seth, you're running a competitive podcast. Out of the original 3 starters, which starter do you think has been top tier most of the time?
Obviously Venusaur.
It is Venusaur, 1000%. Gen 1 Venusaur is better.
However,
Gen 2 Venusaur is better. Gen 3 Venusaur is better. Gen 4 Venusaur is better. It wasn't.
only one of them was banned from national decks.
Yes, the reason that Charizard got good was because it took 2 Mega Stones to make it good.
Well, no, Blastoise was
it was
banned
Blastoise,
from national
isn't it?
decks.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shell Smash
Mega-
Mega Blastoise. is-
Shell Sus Mega.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
So who's the dummy now?
The answer is still Venusaur. Venusaur is still very good.
Dummy thick fat.
Venusaur is always the best. Venusaur always wins.
That was the worst joke I've ever made. So
yeah.
those are the kind of normal, we'll call them normal Pokemon. How about the restricted ones? What are good ones of that people need to have on the radar?
all of them.
So Kyogre's the most used
All
one.
of them?
Not all
of them.
Get out of here with
They're like 4 real ones.
Calyrex regular
Yeah.
form.
They're like 4 real ones, and then everything else is just like, I think I'm doing something cheeky.
I mean, like, there's no reason to run something like Giratina or Mewtwo when you could go Shadow Rider Calyrex. That is the
Right,
issue,
yeah.
right? Like, something like that is kind of meh. There's things like Ho-Oh that are unexplored right now, kind of.
I like Ho-Oh.
I like Ho-Oh too.
Ho-Oh.
I think Ho-Oh's unexplored.
I
think it's better than people give.
I think Ho-Oh might actually be the dark horse right now, just because it counters Zacian really, really well. And I think you can build it bulky enough that it can beat Shadow Rider. And it probably has some tech that we're not thinking of that it can use to punch back.
Yeah, like Ho-Oh didn't make the list because it wasn't in the top 30 usage, but I think Ho-Oh is it's underexplored right now.
I think
I
Ho-Oh.
think
it is a good
Pokemon,
one.
guys.
I think there's room for Ho-Oh to really do well. I mean, it's done well.
Same with
it's
Rayquaza.
it's done well in the past. I don't think Rayquaza is as good.
I play against one Rayquaza team, and I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of scary because it gets stab airstream.
It does get stab airstream, but I don't know.
Oh.
Without the Mega, I'm not nearly as scared of it.
Like, it still gets its flying type close combat attack to use it off of, too. So, if weather is at the top, then it might just be good enough. Anyways, let's talk about the actual good ones. So Kyogre's still at number 1, and it partners with Torn to get like a Tailwind water spout off.
Oh, gross.
It's
It's disgusting.
you can probably beat it without too much of an issue. I like the thing is,
I mean, a lot of teams run Rillaboom, and Rillaboom is like a natural.
if you are playing, you do need to have
yeah.
a counter to it.
Yeah, you can't just
Because it's a very, I would say, like, if you want to get into this meta, Kyogre is probably the easiest way to get into this meta.
That makes sense. Okay.
Because Kyogre is very easy and straightforward to play.
It is.
There are a couple ways around it. My favorite way is just Zapdos. Zapdos will kill Zapdos 1v1's Kyogre, but we're in a 2v2 meta. And because Water Spout can't OHKO Gigantamax Zapdos or Dynamax Zapdos. Gigantamax is what it should have been called. But that's neither here nor there. That Zapdos it does less than 50%, just a pure Water Spout off a Choice Scarf baby Kyogre.
Wow.
And
All right.
and so you can get and if it's baby Kyogre, Max Lightning will actually KO the Kyogre. If the Kyogre goes big, because it's like, there's a Zapdos, it loses its Choice Scarf, so the Zapdos goes first, does just over 50% to Dynamax Kyogre, and then the thing you have to worry about most of all is like redirection. The other thing you have to worry about is if it pairs with Regieleki in that scenario.
Yeah, like if it's with an Amoonguss, it can be annoying. If it's with
so you have to watch out for those things. But
it can be paired with a Kingdra that just goes fast and hurts you, and uses Airstream to get it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because Kingdra gets Hurricane.
You just have to watch for its partner. But if you can predict the partner, you can play around it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Kyogre is not a very splashable legend, but it's really good.
Yes.
So.
Ironically.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Next up, it would be Zacian.
That makes sense.
It's It's almost top 10. Intrepid Sword is disgusting.
Crowned, I assume, right?
Behemoth.
Yes.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Who plays regular Zacian?
People who
believe
want a
it's like
choice band, I
99
guess. I don't know.
I believe 99.7%
Yeah.
of Zacian on the ladder. Are
Yeah, it's somebody trying to
would
be
make sense.
cute and run not,
or somebody with shield who couldn't get a sword
or somebody who forgot.
because they got their Zacian off of the GTS and
I'm-
they don't give you a sword.
I'm fully prepared to say that it's just like somebody forgot to put the item on and then went on the ladder. Like that's what I believe happened.
Yeah.
Also a possibility. But yeah, Intrepid Sword is dumb, but a lot of teams have like both Landorus and Incineroar to intimidate it. So that weakens it a bit. It could get burned from something like a Weezing or a Dragapult, and that's scary.
Yep.
And that deals with it well. And the big thing about Zacian is it can't Dynamax, so you have to have another Pokemon on your team that you're planning to Dynamax, unlike a lot of the Legends where it's like, oh yeah, they're great Dynamax.
I still think that's my favorite team. I'll be I think Zacian is probably my favorite team in terms of being solid. Only because like Kyogre has been used so many times in the past that I feel like people know how to handle, or they can get into the mindset of how to handle it better.
Zacian is a splashable.
Zacian is splashable.
Pokemon you can
Oh
just
yeah,
throw
it's
on a team.
splashable.
Like you have a team of good stuff, you can put a Zacian on it. and
Yeah,
make it work. Like you don't have to build around Zacian apart from having something to.
I think you could take something like Wolf Glick's team from the Players Cup 2, and you could find a way just to like splash a Zacian on that, and it would be a good team.
Yeah, Zacian is a splashable legend as opposed to a build around
Yes.
legend.
Yes.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, Calyrex isn't that much of a. Calyrex is like, yeah, you probably should have an Indeedee. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
like it's a package deal.
Yeah, you bring in Didi.
yeah,
You bring
okay.
in Didi so you can redirect so you don't get hit by an Urshifu.
You
Yeah,
stop
because that blocks
punches,
Sucker
and
Punch.
You also get Psychic Surge to stop Sucker
Ooh,
Punch as well.
that makes
And
a
you get
Veltal, not a
Expanding Force.
counter. Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you have Expanding Force.
Ugh.
that helps. Yep,
Yeah.
it's gross-ish. You do have to watch out for that one. That's something that you have to think about. Oh, what am I going to bring to help handle this? Astral Barrage, by the way, like we're talking about Moltres. That's also a spread.
That's why you bring Moltres or you bring
Yep.
Urshifu to things like that. It's
Now
like,
that
yeah, you
one,
gotta-
that one I knew because of the VGC games that I've seen. There was one that I saw that had just leading from the beginning was Scarved Small Gorgeist, so that it could trick or treat things to add the ghost typing, and then Astral Barrage it.
Gross.
That's a nice best of one trick. That's a nice best
It
of
was
one trick.
cute, and then it was paired with a Moltres too. So you Fiery Wrath, whatever's left.
It's adorable. But yeah, the issue is like Incineroar snarling it, which Incineroar are on about 50% of the teams. So yeah, that hurts because it doesn't have a great answer to Incineroar. It's like Mud Shot. It's
So we're telling you Rillaboom and Incineroar are on your VGC team right now, right? That's what we've decided.
yeah,
The
like,
starters, yay!
yeah, they're
What's
good.
changed? Nothing. Those are the same starters that we told you to put on your team 6 months ago. So
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
Then we're gonna get the water type with Greninja.
oh man, Greninja's not good in VGC. Like, why would you put Green Greninja in VGC? It's gonna get grassy glided to
don't
death.
know. Oh yeah, duh.
Next up, I guess we can talk about Dialga next because you said it's an S tier.
It is technically an S tier by like Smogon standards. I don't know if that means anything.
I that's just a bunch of people saying, yeah, I think. I think
make
it is
it's
good
good.
something at
It's
least.
good. It beats the Zacian.
I mean, it beat me in the Dodrio Cup last
It beats the Zacian because it. I mean,
does.
like I would say anything that's Steel type that's not Zacian is good against Zacian. And Zacian's probably the one you're going to be trying to play around. On top of that, most of them are bulky, so you can probably even get around Kyogre with them. Like Dialga resists Kyogre too, but you get Trick Room support with Dialga, which is always nice. And it's got a decent move pool. I mean, it's got Earth Power, it's got obviously Flash Cannon, then Roar of Time. Well, you probably don't want Roar of Time. You'd run Draco.
No, you run Roar of Time.
You think so?
Because
just for Dynamax. Yeah, that's fine.
It, so,
yeah, for the base power.
Yeah, just do it for the base power. And it gets Telepathy, which is something that nobody thinks about.
So
you can
because it barely ever
so you can EQ all you want next to a Dialga.
Mm-hmm. So it pairs well with Landorus. Landorus buffs its defense. Max Steel buffs its defense. Then it can just go and click Body Press and ow.
Yep. Dialga's good.
Okay.
Dialga's good.
That would be the one I run.
Deceptively good. Plus Steel Dragon's just a good typing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's good. Dialga's good. I always thought Dialga was good. Even like back in like VGC 16, I was a fan of Dialga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it can fit on a Trick Room team. It can fit on like a standard. Hey, it's a good stuff team. Like it's a solid Pokemon that you don't need much building around. Yveltal is the same way. You could probably take it on. You could probably put it on a spot where Galarian Moltres was last series, and be like,
don't run Palkia though. Stop it.
PSA.
Stop it. Just stop.
Yeah.
I see it too often on the ladder. And it makes me sad because it's just like you're trying to make it happen, but it's not going to happen.
It's not.
It's not good. What's Palkia doing for you? Like, what does Palkia bring to the table? Like,
it's a good Kyogre counter, I guess.
Yeah.
It resists
Kyogre, and that's it. And did you remember that there's other Pokemon?
No, I forgot. Yeah. I want to use Palkia because I played Pearl version as my first game.
Okay. Yeah, you don't like winning.
Like if you want a water type,
you don't like winning.
The dragon type doesn't add anything. No, it doesn't do anything. It's absolutely awful. It just gives you weakness to fairy type. That's all it does.
You just lose to Tapu Fini. Like
run a Tapu Fini instead of a Palkia. There's your answer.
Right? And then you can have a good Pokemon.
Yeah. And you opened up your legend slot for something else that's good.
Wow.
Oh, that's great. But yeah, Yveltal, splashable. It's like Galarian Moltres. You throw a weakness policy or life orb on it and go big, and you hit things hard with Dark Aura. It's a special attacker, though it can run Sucker Punch easily enough.
Wait, is Xerneas not in the top 30 right now?
No, I think it's like barely in the top 40.
No, never mind. Zacian exists.
Wow.
Zacian exists. No, makes sense. Okay.
Zacian is really
Zacian
good.
exists. Never mind. Zacian destroys Xerneas.
Yep. Groudon's really good for countering Kyogre checking Kyogre.
I just don't think it's that
easily
good.
Builds a Sun team.
I just don't think Groudon's as good as people want it to be.
It can't counter anymore because it's not primal, so...
Yeah, like its fire coverage isn't great, so like outside of Precipice Blades, which misses often enough, it's not exciting. It's not exciting. But the Pokemon around it are pretty good. Like Charizard and Venusaur do relatively well in the sun.
You just run Torkoal, and then you could open up that Groudon slot for like a good legend, though.
Back to that.
Yeah, I'm telling you the truth, though. I'm just speaking my truth. That Groudon's better than Palkia, but I'm not. That's not saying much.
I mean, Groudon's on our team of the episode because it won that big tournament.
You know what you should run instead of a Groudon? A Calyrex, like a regular Calyrex.
Like a regular with Sunny Day. Why not?
Yeah, it's.
But yeah. Groudon's pretty solid. Ice Rider Calyrex is a thing that exists. It Trick Rooms.
It's literally just it's just the Glacier teams, but with the Calyrex now.
Yeah, which isn't as good because it's got like...
Yeah, it's too fast. It's too fast.
It's too fast?
Yeah, because it's not 30 speed anymore. It's base 50.
Oh, no.
So it's a little...
It's a little faster than it used to be, so things will outspeed it than Trick Room now.
Oh no.
Which causes a problem.
That's a little awkward. Yeah. And then, like, the last thing that's probably worth talking about is Solgaleo.
Solgaleo is surprisingly good.
I like Solgaleo a lot. It's been commonly paired with Spectre so far, with Bulldoze. Because then it's speed control against your opponents, but activates your weakness policy. And you go big. So you get your weakness policy, you have clear body, so you're not intimidated by anything. And then you just buff your defenses because you can't lose your defenses when you buff.
Almost in the same vein, I would argue Duskmane is good too.
Yeah, but it doesn't have
clear body. It doesn't have clear body, so it can't do the shenanigans.
In doubles, it's just kind of...
It can't do the shenanigans.
It's there. It's more of a trick room mon if you use it.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't think it's that good with Urshifu everywhere. So, and Galarian Moltres /
We should talk about this, because I think my opponent's going to run Solgaleo this week.
Yeah, like Solgaleo is scary.
I do need to make some roster changes. I feel like Galarian Moltres is coming.
Yeah, Solgaleo is nice. It literally just does what Metagross did last season. You activate weakness policy on it, and you sweep with Dynamax.
Makes sense.
Except it does it better.
This all makes sense.
All right,
and
cool.
That's where we are right now.
Yeah. Any other final kind of recap thoughts on just VGC as a whole? Is this where we're kind of thinking the rules will be for a while?
We know it's there until
until May. I mean, I think so. Personally, what I expect is for them not to change the rules in May. But what I would like, being a hopeful, optimistic lad, I would like to see that it move to something more like, oh, you can bring mythicals now, and then like really that only means Magearna. But
I mean that would be cool. I could see them doing ban list, though they didn't do it for the last series, so maybe not.
I could see ban list. I mean, I think a lot of my prediction would rely on if there actually is a Diamond and Pearl remake.
The other option, I guess, is like remove the restriction. Like, hey, your team can have as many restrictions.
No, that's bad. Stop it.
Yeah, but it's something they do.
I could see it being where they open it.
Like, I don't know anymore. I expected this to be like the summer format, and now it's here in February.
No, I think it's okay because if like Diamond and Pearl remakes come out, we have a new quote unquote regional decks to play with.
Yeah, but we have 2 series. We probably have 2 series.
Oh, we definitely do. We definitely have 3 series before then.
So that's what confuses me. It's like I expected the legendaries be what.
Yeah, we go to May and then May, right? June, July, and then August, September, October. Oh my gosh, that means.
And technically, the VGC for Diamond and Pearl wouldn't start till January.
No, Diamond and Pearl. Okay, hear me out. Maybe that means we get October release, and then they just shift us over in November.
Well, I mean, there is no Worlds this year, so does it really matter?
They can shift whenever they want.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Cool.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're going to do with the next 2 to 3 seasons.
Yeah,
so.
Especially now, again, that they canceled Worlds too, so who knows?
This is what I expected for like the last season or 2 games, and it's here now. So I have no clue. Maybe Mythicals will be there.
I would love Mythicals to be in VGC for like once in their life.
You're right.
I don't want them at the same time as regular box art legends, though. I want just they don't shine. They don't shine. So I would want it to be, oh, box art legends are banned, but you can bring Mythicals.
Yeah.
And I would think it would change things.
I guess they could throw a real curveball and make us play Little Cup VGC.
They won't. Stop. They won't.
They won't, but I'd love it.
Yes, I love Little Cup. I miss Little Cup.
I would enjoy Little Cup, but item clause.
Yeah.
and ban Eviolite.
No, they did that. And they had like a quote unquote unofficial format.
They did that at Nationals when they did Little
and Nationals
Cup.
When they do the Little Cup side tournaments, they always do stuff like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, they're like, they ban Eviolite, and then they put an item clause on, and then they ban any Pokemon that didn't get their evolution in the same generation.
Yep. Ah.
So it bans like Lickitung, and it bans Sneasel.
And Scyther and things like that. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little more fair.
That works.
You get Riolus everywhere.
All right. Well, cool. I think that's a pretty good VGC recap and general idea on where it is, what the rules are for right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop over. You heard Sigma mention it earlier. There's one team that we want to dive into that won a recent tournament. So we will be right back with that team.
And now for the flavor of the month.
And we're back with the team of the episode, which was the winner of last weekend's Women's Tournament 2. It was up against a Zacian Lapras team, so that's a thing.
That's actually pretty common.
Okay.
Zacian
Yeah,
paired
that
with
makes
Lapras
sense.
is actually very common.
Yeah, it sounds potent at least, so the fact that it won is pretty good sign.
Yeah, because Zacian needs something to Gigantamax or Dynamax.
Yep.
Lapras putting up double screens.
Lapras is solid. Lapras is pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah, and so the pilot of this team was Elisa M, or Gracidia, if you want to follow them on whatever they are on. That looks like a Twitter handle, but it could be
it's their Twitter.
anything.
It's their Twitter.
Yeah, Gracidia. But yeah, the winner of the Women's Cup tournament, so clearly it's very good. So we're going to go ahead and start it from the top. Thatch, tell me about the first 2 Pokemon that they brought.
So there's an Umbreon with some weird stuff, but it's
Yeah.
inner focus, so you can't intimidate this Umbreon. More importantly, you
it's
can't
worth.
flinch it.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
making it out. Or
Yes.
sliding it.
So 252 HP, 156 defense, 100 special defense. I'm sure that's calced for something, and I don't know what. 0 attack because it's an Umbreon, and I guess you don't want to get foul played as an Umbreon.
Or confusion.
Oh,
You might as
confusion
well
works, that's
minimize
true.
it, you know? Meh.
5 speed, and we looked it up, and it's probably to outspeed Calyrex Ice Rider with the outside of Trick Room.
Assuming it's not min speed.
Yeah.
Like,
It's got Yawn to force switch outs, Moonlight, Snarl to just help you decrease special defense, and that's actually pretty annoying. And Foul Play to hit things with massive attack stats, probably like Calyrex Ice Rider.
Yeah, or just anything, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of
honestly.
things.
Especially with Legends just tend to have high attack stats.
Legends just have random dump
Yep.
stats of attack randomly. So
They're running a Groudon team though, which is a choice.
choice.
I don't care if this team won. I don't like Groudon. It's not good. Stop it.
look how red it is. I love its coloration.
Did you see that? Did you see that
Warm
art
colors.
swap that somebody did for Pokemon Go, where they swapped Kyogre and Groudon's colors? It was pretty cool.
I did see that at one point.
This is Groudon holding a Citrus Berry, ability Drought. It's got 252 HP just to make it fat, and 252 attack to make it strong. He's fat and strong. He's got an adamant nature because he's Groudon. He's not going too fast. I think it's still base 90 speed, isn't it? Like Groudon's still like not like
Yeah, I think
he's
it's
not
base
like
90
slow,
speed.
but
You never run
speed because
he's always been a
well, base 90 is kind of an awkward spot anyway. So he's running Protect because it's VGC, Swords Dance because you want to make him hit hard, Precipice Blades because that's his attack, and it doesn't hurt it's like Earthquake, but it doesn't hurt your friend, but it's got 85 accuracy, so your life kind of sucks. And you're missing one. I don't care. And then you also have Rock Slide for flinches, though you're probably not going much faster than a lot of things, except maybe the Umbreon. But it's Groudon. It's got Sun. It's good with that. Yay. I doubt they're partners on the field.
All right.
I mean, he can just sit there and snarl.
Yeah, I guess.
They can chill.
He chonk.
They're not the most exciting
No,
buddies.
they're not the most exciting buddies at all.
Anyways, I'll go with what's next. Next up, we have Indeedee Female with that Focus Sash. Max special attack, max speed, a little bit of speed up. I don't think it actually matters. But Psychic Surge, we have Expanding Force because we're an Indeedee and that's what we do with our life. Follow Me, so Groudon can get its Swords Dance up. Maybe Porygon too, who I'll talk about in a second, can get a Trick Room up. Life is pretty good. Protect and Helping Hand to help buff that damage of most likely the Groudon, maybe the thing Seth's going to talk about.
Yes. Probably those things.
Relatively
Yeah.
standard Indeedee. Expanding Force can break sashes. It does spread damage. It's just nice to have. In case you're taunted.
Oh, Expanding Forces
No one likes
spread?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's only spread in Psychic Terrain though.
It's only spread in Psychic Terrain.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's only spread in Psychic Terrain, and
it is
so it also if you only target one Pokemon with it, it's weird. So you only target one Pokemon with it.
Interesting.
So, like, let's say that you have you've got your Amoonguss in that slot, and you go, oh man, they're probably going to target me with Expanding Force, and you switch into Urshifu, and that's the mon that was the slot that was targeted. It would just negate the whole Expanding Force.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is weird.
it's like it's almost spread, but not.
Okay.
It's one of those weird technical moves that they decided to do this gen.
I mean, I'm okay with it because I think if without it, you would just see way too much spam.
Whoever programmed Dragon Darts could probably write an essay
Yes.
Right? Or get a raise. Like, they need one. That's wild.
on it. Right. It's something else.
Yeah.
But anyways, next member, Porygon 2, Eviolite. Download is the ability, so it gets that nice buff, probably in special attack, because things tend to bulk up into their regular defense stat. Bold Nature, max defense, max HP, a little bit in special attack. Ice Beam, Eerie Impulse, because down with the special attackers. Down with them. Recover and Trick Room. 0 speed, 0 attack IVs. I'm confused on why we're not running a minus speed nature too, but oh well.
It might be for the same Calyrex reason. Who knows? I don't know.
That might be true. Porygon 2, I think, is like deceptively faster than it should be, maybe. I think
it's 60. I don't know, though, off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's deceptively faster than it should be.
All right, and then the final two are the most bloodthirsty members of the entire team. We've got Charizard, obviously in its G-Max form, because pretty much all the time if you can G-Max, you just do. It's got a Life Orb and the ability Solar Power, so stack them multipliers. 252 special attack, 252 speed, timid nature with the last point just in special defense because why not? No attack IVs, and moveset of Protect, Air Slash, Heat Wave, and Scorching Sands. Fairly standard Charizard moveset now thanks to Isle of Armor tutors. And yeah, I can do a lot, especially with Solar Power and using that fire move to turn into G-Max Charizard burns you to death.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Yep.
In Sun.
Wildfire.
G-Max Wildfire.
G-Max Scorch.
Yes.
Yep. And then we also have Kartana holding an assault vest. It's got...
It probably survives the Kyogre's water spout,
What?
I guess.
That's not what I was... my brain thought something else.
Look at that special defense.
Oh, I know.
It's like maxed out.
Oh, I know. Its ability is Beast Boost. Its EVs are as follows. 4 HP, 4 attack, 4 defense, 244 special defense, and max speed with a Jolly Nature. So
yeah, it's got
literally a little of everything.
Kyogre. That's to not die to a Kyogre.
I'm assuming it just doesn't die to a water spout.
It's probably a single water spout if we're being real.
Yes, 1,000%.
So, yeah. Then it's got a Jolly Nature as said, so it's just max speed going fast, really taking advantage of that whatever speed. Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Sacred Sword, and Guillotine as the last move if you just really hate everything.
Well, what's the fourth move that you're going to put on Kartana?
I don't know.
Razor
Protect?
No, you can't protect, though, because of Assault Vest.
Oh, no, you can't. That's right. Oh, yeah, the Assault Vest.
So what's the fourth attack that you put on Kartana? The answer is Guillotine, because 30% of the...
It doesn't get knocked off.
30...
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't, does it? Because it has to do the transfer thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the marks are probably the best thing that's happened to Pokemon, in my opinion.
I love the marks. The marks are great.
I would do anything for an official Smogon format that's OU, but with the marks, so that you don't have to be like, yes, Legacy move from Gen 3.
I want a just straight up moveset reset. Like they hit Gen 9, they get reset to whatever their level is.
I mean, that would just force Smogon
Yes,
to do
exactly. I want them to be forced because no one will adopt the regular metagame when you can put soft boiled on your Clefable.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably Clefable probably wouldn't be good.
It would be okay.
It would be
at
okay.
best.
It would be okay. Still.
It would be okay, but it wouldn't be as good.
You'd be forced to do either Wish Tect, which I don't. Yeah, you can still do that, or Moonlight, which. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want a moveset reset. But anyway, yeah, that's the Kartana, that's the Charizard. They're your breakers, your real big, ugly, nasty monsters to take advantage of that sun with for the Charizard at least. And Kartana's just there to be a Kartana.
Yeah,
so
with Guillotine.
Yeah. Yep.
I like Guillotine.
YOLO, roll them dice.
Dude, I love it. In UUTC last year, I was running a Bisharp team that ran Guillotine, and I won because of it.
Nice. But yeah, that's the team. It won the Women's Cup or Women's Tournament 2 last weekend, as we said before. So it's clearly got a lot of strategy to it that, you know, we're probably only seeing layer 1.
I mean, it's still a developing meta, too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's been our show, too. Thank you guys for being on and helping me learn VGC even more than my small knowledge already had. It's great to kind of get back into it and learn a whole lot more about the official tournament thing. And, you know, I learned things like Expanding Force hits both things. That's a thing I didn't know.
It happens.
Yeah.
Both of the Calyrex attacks do that too. It's gross.
Yeah, I knew that much from watching that one battle with the Gourgeist trick-or-treating. That was hilarious. Haha, my regular resistance. Haha, no, it's not. My triple-typed Incineroar. But until next time, you can catch us on other things like the main show that comes out every single Monday on the regular PUCL feed. You're listening to us on PUCL Plus right now, so go to the blue one instead of the orange one to hear Thatch's lovely voice every Monday morning. And on the PUCL Plus side of things, we've got obviously this show, but others as well, such as the Trivia Rewind, Game Corner, and the TCG cast that come out on Thursdays of the month, just varying Thursdays. And as always, if you want to get in on the action of just everything the community is doing, hop to our Discord server. That is where the magic happens. That's where you can get involved in tournaments and just, talk with other Pokemon people 24 hours a day, basically. We've got people all around the globe, so you can probably find someone who's awake at any hour of the day. And follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much everything else. And until next month, when we'll talk about something, who knows what, I have been Seth Vilo.
I've been Thatch.
And I've been R Signal.
And we'll catch you guys next time.